Hello, the 7 people who watch this. I am so happy to be back, and I am glad I can provide you with more shitty content. Funnily enough, this shit content is about shit content. That's right. Today's topic is the start of a series about Warframe quests, in which I go through them in chronological order and discuss what I liked, what I disliked, and how they went, and how I felt about them from a story perspective. This one isn't in that order, though, because I felt the need to talk about this before the rest of them, seeing as I despised it so much. Today, we're going to be talking about the Limbo theorem. Now, the Limbo theorem itself isn't really a quest. You see, in order for something to be a quest, in my opinion, it has to have something going for it, some kind of story or purpose. But the Limbo theorem has none of that. You see, how the Limbo starts up, is you, the player, get a message from Ortis saying he's found something in the cosmic radiation, and we need to go figure out what it is. So then you go in an Archwing on into this mission where you have to capture 4 towers and hold them, which I will be discussing later in the 3rd segment of this video. And then when you get to there, you have to kill enemies to get truth fragments and just run through 2 waves of this capture in space in an Archwing to essentially complete this part. And in essence, this is the entire quest. This is all of what you're going to have to do for the most part, because the Limbo theorem is 2 missions on repeat. What you're doing is is theoretically, if you don't collect all 10 truth fragments on your first run, is you're going to be running back and forth between the space capture mission, or not capture, the space control mission, and an excavation mission on Earth. Because what you do is you go into space, collect these truth fragments, make them into this Limbo weird nav coordinate thing. You go down to this singular excavation mission. Then you mine for like 3 waves of that mining, and then you get a Limbo part, and then you have to go and build that to then go and move on to the next part of the quest. I say that with quotation marks. Now, here's the thing. You don't even have to do the Archwing part more than once. If you really, really want to, you can get a friend on and you can just run it to get all 10 of your truth fragments right off the bat. That's actually what I would advise you do, because this mission is cancer. So, now, as I mentioned a little bit before, the quest is time gated. Now, I hate time gating. I want time gating to die, and I'd prefer it if time gating didn't exist. But it does. And this is some of the worst time gating I've personally felt in a while, because what happens is the main sort of longevity of this quest is waiting for the Limbo pieces to be made, because you can't move on with the quest until the Limbo piece acquired from the previous part is created, which is really, really annoying. I can't tell you how annoying that is. Because when you're making these Limbo pieces, you don't want to. I personally find it really annoying, because I don't like the fact that I had to build Limbo all at once. I never had to go out and grind for any of the materials to make Limbo, but I didn't like the fact that I had to wait, in essence, 4 days to finish this. And I would have preferred to have it so you can go out and get all the pieces beforehand, or have it just like the blueprint thing like you did for Chroma, and that's, I think, actually, funnily enough, the only other Warframe I've gotten out of a quest, maybe. Probably not, but I would have preferred it to be like that infected Chroma, where you go and you get the Chroma pieces, or you go and get the Chroma blueprint, and then you have to go and find the rest of the pieces to then make them. And I find it kind of annoying that you are essentially forced to build Limbo through this quest if you want it to get completed. I don't think that's how this should have worked. I don't think this is how a quest should work, and I personally find that really annoying, and a little bit, just not a whole, there's just a little a little messed up, but it's more annoying than anything. And like I said, before I went into my whole time gating rant, and at the very beginning of this, I was going to discuss the first mission in a little bit more depth, because this is another issue I had with the Limbo theorem. The first mission, and I guess the third, and every mission after that, every Arcwing capture mission, is extremely difficult because of when this quest is given to you. This quest is given to you in low to almost like high level for content, but not high level content. I mean like high low content. Like if all the low content was on a scale, this is a little bit before you hit like mid level, from what I can tell. And the issue is that they're putting you into something. They're giving you this mission, this Arcwing mission, where you're going to have to go and capture all these with maybe not even upgraded Arcwing parts. Like my I had to get a friend in here to help me with this, but it's going to be really difficult for someone just sort of getting familiar with this stuff to then go and be just thrust into this mission that is already difficult and is made near impossible by the fact that you have to manage 4 points and you're one person in an Arcwing which flies everywhere and bounces off of objects and all that. It's really, really annoying. And I think that the entire purpose of that, or not purpose, the entire sort of idea behind that mission was a little bit flawed. I didn't like the fact that you had to go and do something that was near impossible to do as a singular being, because the rest of the quests were definitely, or at least up till what I've done, are accessible to you as a singular being. And I would have preferred that the quest to get the truth fragments, the missions to get those, were more accessible. Like, they could have totally been spy missions. I would have totally liked it if they were spy missions. I think that would have worked great, because you could just go and get like the Limbo like coordinate things from the spy missions. Like I don't remember what quest it was, but there was a quest where you had to progressively get better at spy missions, and I would have really preferred that, because I felt that this was really flawed. However, I'm not going to completely trash this quest, because it did give me Limbo, and Limbo is amazing. Enough said about that. Thank you, and farewell.